Uh, this was not supposed to happen. Hey guys, this is Welcome 101. Welcome back to another episode on Echocraft. I am currently at Weasel's base, and I found his little mob fountain thing. Thing is, he used to have a wither skeleton here. That is because I got curious. I've got where is it? I got thorns 3 on these boots, and I was like curious to see if this guy could if he could hit me. So I got up close. What? I don't still have thorns, do I? Oh, I do. Okay. Okay, I almost. Basically, that happened. The wither skeleton just kind of one-shot itself on my thorns armor, which I didn't mean to do, and I feel so bad now because a wither skeleton I know is way harder to get than just a little zombie guy. No, you. In my last episode, I finally finished the outside of the dirt factory. This has been a project that's been going on for a long time, and it is so good to have this done. But as you can see, the inside is a little bit bare. So today we are going to be finishing this up, as well as heading out back and building the warehouse. This should take pretty much one episode. This is, as you can tell by the space, it is way smaller than the factory itself. So we should be able to get this done pretty quickly. Thankfully, there is a little bit of redstone involved, but it's mainly just like item sorters, so those aren't too involved. I do really want to get that done as well because I've got a massive pile of materials over here that I need to clean up before I pave this whole area and kind of blend this in better with the landscape around it. So anyway, let's get started right in here, and I have plenty of materials. Thankfully, the item gathering for this did not take nearly as long as the mud bricks. So I've got plenty of spruce from Sky's shop that we are going to be using for like not railing. Railing is not the right word. It's like supports. We're going to be having like pillars and like cross beams all across here to kind of fill in the area without doing too much. Like, I'm leaving these walls pretty much as is. I also don't have any arrows. I'm leaving these walls pretty much as is, because if you actually look at like super old factories, you know, more modern factories, they'll have like, you know, drywall and stuff, and they'll decorate the inside a little bit. But like, especially older English factories, like this one is based off of, the walls are pretty much just bare. It's far more about function than look. So, you know, I'm gonna clean up a little bit, but so far it's not gonna be super hard. Also, thank you. I was taking forever. What's nice about these pillars is they're also gonna double as a light source because I'm gonna be hanging lanterns off of it. Like I mentioned in the last episode, one of the reasons it took so long to get to this point of the base is because I didn't want to have torch spam everywhere. Obviously, I've got it right now because of necessity, but you know, once these are up, I really wanted to get like a good lighting source that, you know, mob proof this whole area without looking too bad. So all these are going to have lanterns hanging off of the side of them, which is also fairly accurate too if you look at old pictures of factories. Oh, also, I'm super proud of this. So we got these lanterns here. Cool. So that should mean this area should be free of, okay, well, mostly free of spawning. There are a couple little spots in the corners here and there that like aren't completely covered, so I'll have to like just do something there, but not worry about that right now. So even with the lanterns there, and even when we start having some crossbeams, this pole does look really bare. And also, the walls are way darker than I would like them to be. So I'm really proud of this. I'm killing 2 birds with 1 stone here by putting some trap doors along here. This is something I basically already did. But then I realized I can actually hide in here a little redstone torch. And so I can throw that in there, and that actually lights up the area a little bit. It's not a crazy amount, but like once we start getting rid of a lot of these torches, like it definitely helps. Like just compare it to like this one with just the lanterns, like it is really subtle. But you can tell like the light just kind of creeps up a little bit higher on the pole. If that makes any sense at all. I mean, well, okay, you can't really tell because these both have like lanterns right outside the window, but like, trust me, when it's all put together, it it does look nice. This example is actually probably like way too subtle, but I mean, you can tell with the trapdoors though. The trapdoors do look nicer, just having a little bit of extra depth there, regardless of whether or not there's a torch behind there or not. How do How does he keep doing that? Am I just blind, or is there like actually no difference? Wait a minute. I'm like lowering the gamma. I don't think it actually matters. When I designed it, I guess I don't know. It actually is like, maybe, oh boy, maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. But there's a redstone light there. But no, yeah, it's a redstone torch. I thought maybe I was misremembering. It's supposed to be a normal torch, but no, it is a redstone torch, and it's just not affecting it at all like I thought it would. How did I not notice that when I was building it originally? I thought I was onto something here. I thought I was being clever, but no, there's literally no difference whatsoever. Yeah, there's actually no difference. 6 block. The redstone torch. Oh boy. Yeah, the redstone torch gives off as much light as the lamps do when they've dimmed to that level. Yeah, the lamps give off a 15, and by the time it gets to the rest of the torch, it's 9. But it's the exact same here. I literally, if the torch was any higher, it would make a difference, but like it's literally just the exact same light level as the faded lamp. Okay, never mind. We're forgetting that idea. Actually, what if I do replace it with like a normal torch? Would a normal torch make a difference? If I do that, and then, I mean, obviously it would make a difference. It would be way brighter. Yeah, that is way better. Yeah, it's... That's way better. That's what I meant to do. Yeah, because you can see on the... You can see it's still subtle, but like it casts more light. The light goes a little higher up on the pole. It's a little brighter on the wall. And obviously you can see like the diamond where the torch is, but like once all of these poles have a torch behind it, like it'll blend too much to really tell. Yeah, that's the difference I meant to make. I guess I thought redstone torches would do the job, but no. My brain just died there. I couldn't say that word. Oh, you can spawn there. You can spawn all you. I need to light this up apparently too. By quite a bit. Alright, so we got all the main posts up. Now we're just adding in some of these cross beams, and we're also going to light up these just very, very slightly by throwing some glow like and just kind of hidden behind here. So when you're in, when you're in the main factory itself, you aren't going to be able to see it at all. But it does add some ambient light, and with it being nighttime, you can really tell as well. It gets really, really dark up towards the ceiling, and I don't want anything 100% just pitch black. So we're adding these, to light this up, give some ambient lighting, but also keep stuff from spawning, which is a big thing as well. I want to avoid around here. I don't want to be, I don't want to go AFK, especially because I'm going to be AFK around here a lot. I don't want to be going AFK around here and then just getting wrecked by a creeper one, not even at my computer. Oh, that reminds me. Speaking of lighting, first off, let's get my horse out of here. Again, I really need to get him like a barn or something to stay in. But for now, he's just been staying in here, so he doesn't just wander around my wheat field, because he does go very, very far if you give him free reign outside of the building. Okay, let's just throw him down here. So yeah, speaking of lighting, I really want to. That wall's not complete. These walls are. Yeah, that wall's supposed to look like this, but this is like missing stuff. Okay, I'll deal with that later. Let's go ahead and add a chain here really quick to kind of block off the water, because I really want to add some lighting in here. First off, I mean, there's a hopper right there at the moment. That's not going to be permanent. I'm actually going to be doing a little water thing down here. The items are eventually actually just going to go through here and then like up a little thing and into the warehouse. But for now, I just had a hopper down here. But I do want to add some lighting, because it gets really, really dark in the center of here, and there's really no good places to put lighting. I mean, I've experimented a little bit trying trying some lights like on the side of there, but it didn't really feel right to me, because this is supposed to be like a solid steel basin. So having just random lights in here didn't really feel right. So I just kind of snuck some under there, just to kind of keep it lit, because it does get really dark specifically right in the middle of this basin. He's stuck again. How does he keep doing this? Bruh. You're not. It's been 2 minutes. Okay, that's it. I'm grabbing the lead real quick. Thankfully, I have one somewhere over here from a wandering trader. I have a few from wandering traders. Okay, you are staying put right there, buddy, until I figure out what to do with you. Oh, hi, but hello. Okay, you know what? I don't have any extra saddles I can find at the moment, but you are coming with me because you are gonna be. You're gonna keep my friend over here company. Yeah, you guys introduce yourselves. Keep each other company. Leave me alone while I'm trying to build here. Oh, you know what I forgot? I broke my shovel on stream recently. I wasn't paying attention and it just broke, and I'm so annoyed with myself. Wait, no, actually, I don't even need sand at the moment. I'm here for sandstone. What am I even doing? This is way nicer. Still doesn't fix my shovel, though. So I realized I lied earlier. Well, I didn't lie. I forgot about something. So I want to do some extra stuff up here, which includes adding like a little bit of like supports, extra supports underneath these beams, because I want to do some extra stuff on top. The problem is these beams just all happen to line up exactly with these windows. So I need to do something with this wall. And so when I said earlier that I was just going to leave these walls alone, yeah, I completely forgot. Yeah, that's completely not happening. I am adding one little extra layer along the insides and doing a little more towards the bottom. The up top is still gonna stay like pretty similar, but yeah, we are doing a little bit of extra stuff up here. It also helps because all over here, these corners are spawnable blocks. So once we fill in this little extra space, this layer, then we don't have to worry about that anymore. Yeah, we're taking this terracotta all the way around and then just adding a couple extra little things at the bottom that I will show you in a second once I'm done with this. Actually, though, I'm going to take a break from this because Weasel is online now, so I may as well head over to his base and break the news about his mobs. Not sure what this is doing. Hey, Weasel.
You just scared the crap out of me.
You're welcome.
What's going
on? So I messaged you on Discord a while ago saying I accidentally killed your wither skeleton.
Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I just don't remember the message.
Oh, yeah. Well, so I had thorns on, and I was curious to see if it could hit me or not. And the thorns just one-shot it. Because turns out, I've got both of these. Both of these are yours. Your helmet and boots. Both of them.
Yep, I knew you had the boots. I didn't know about the helmet. On right now.
Yeah.
Oh,
you lost another one. Also from me. I can help you get them back if you need. If you need.
No, it's not that big of a deal. I just need to get a couple of name tags and dirt path and stuff.
Oh, broke the slab. I didn't even realize that.
Yeah, I'm just glad that's all it broke.
I'm surprised. I was shocked that's all it broke. I thought it must have been in water or something because it didn't break anything from what I saw.
There was a block in the middle of the thing.
Oh, what block was? Yeah, that's what happened.
At least the pillager can't get hurt.
Yeah, at least the pillager. No amount of like trying can get this guy to. Oh no. I'm no, get back in there. Wait, no. He's here. At least he's like here. Yeah, get him in there. Get in the boat. There he goes.
There we go.
Okay.
I wonder how much it would take to talk lagging and to let me have barrier blocks.
And the barrier blocks. Well, the thing is that it was fine. You just can't mess with it. Like,
Yeah.
Anyway, what are you working on right now?
Building trees and a dungeon.
Oh, cool. Yeah. How
Yeah. You
how?
play D&D, right?
Oh yeah, I love D&D.
Yeah. Yeah. Here, I'll show you.
Cause your whole base is like D&D themed, and there's like puzzles and stuff.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which
So
which
I
means
won't
a
I
lot
won't
of
give
your
away
base
the
I don't
puzzle.
know. A lot of your base I don't know the story behind because like you're keeping it a secret. Where'd you go? Like I've seen
You
a
don't know
lot
the
of your
story
base,
behind
but
it, 'cause
not
what?
a lot of it makes sense yet because you've kept it all secret.
Sure. Yeah. So this is the Shrine of the Order of the Floating Block. They basically a single traveler was wandering around and wandering for days without food usually has some side effects. We'll just put it that
Yeah.
way.
Yeah.
He saw these floating blocks right there and became convinced that they were some kind of deity and started worshiping them. And so he
Oh,
created this cult. So
fun.
they worship anything that floats.
Were these naturally spawn floating?
Yes.
Okay.
So that's why I had everything kind of safeguarded off in this area to where nothing could come over here and blow these 3 blocks.
Oh yeah.
It's like I'm not risking those. That's too cool to do
Introspection
that.
chamber.
So, yeah.
You know what? You know what? These kind of feel like McDonald's booths. I was just
Now that you say it,
I was just at McDonald's with a bunch of friends for lunch. So like, yeah, yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it looks like.
oh,
Fine.
secrets. My redstone. No.
Yeah, you can just like
Yeah.
sit here and just have a snack while appreciating
Yeah.
the majesty of nature.
Exactly. Yes, I
Just
actually like that better now that you
like
say
a
that.
tourist attraction.
Yeah.
Which
They have a
honestly
dungeon
sounds right out of
downstairs.
like a D&D campaign. Like D&D
Right?
D&D
Yeah.
is super serious until it's not and vice versa.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh,
So,
okay. And then you got a
this-
bunch of space down here.
Yep. I've actually planned everything out in creative. I've got all the resources in these chests right here as to what I need. Yeah, this is all the supplies that I need for the actual dungeon itself.
Mhm.
So, in order to guard their treasure, they've tamed a monster that deals with floating things.
Okay. Can I try to guess it? Like, is it an actual D&D monster?
No.
Oh. You're like floating things as like what, like a beholder or something like that?
Everything's Minecraft. Everything is still Minecraft, but
Right.
it's going to have its own D&D stat blocks and stuff like that.
Right. Okay. Wait, so how much redstone is involved? Like, are there like dice? Are there like redstone dice?
There will be manual dice. I've got to figure out how all that's still going to work to some degree, because obviously instead of investigation rolls and stuff, you're going to be able to walk around and open barrels and chests.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And so there's not going to be as much investigation checks. It'll probably just be for combat. to be
Right.
quite
Okay.
honest. They use
I've
the
got
dice
it.
rolls.
Just on my desk right now, I've got 6 sets of dice. Oh no, I dropped one. So I have real dice. If we're gonna use real dice, that'd be just like kind of fun.
Yeah. And unless everyone suddenly starts rolling like 18, 20 all the time, then it shouldn't be an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, this whole thing right here is going to be the boss room right here above us.
Shulker Hall.
And yep. That's the boss
Right.
for the dungeon, is a
Okay.
shulker, because you float.
Oh, I
Fire
get
protector,
it. Okay.
So let's say the shulker is the sign right here. Your party, that would be your token, your mini.
Okay.
And as you move around the map and stuff, you put down your token. And
Right.
You do your combat from there.
Okay. Yeah. Well,
So-
I've always done Theater of the Mind, so I've never actually done like battle maps before.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's a lot different.
I've never
both.
had a battle map before.
I've ran both. I've played and ran Theater of the Mind, and I've played and ran battle maps,
Mhm.
and it's so much easier if you have an actual visual in front of you.
Yeah, I get for combat that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. We need to have like Even if it's just a one-shot, we need to have like a D&D session and like stream it or something.
That is the plan with my base. To be perfectly honest, that is the whole plan for my base once I get it finished, is to run a one-shot.
Oh, cool. And just suck people like Pizza Buff into D&D.
Yes. Yes.
I am going to lose my mind. So I have done a ton of progress on the inside of the factory. The problem is I messed around with OBS a little bit. Do not ever mess with OBS in the middle of a project. I should have learned my lesson by now because I've made this mistake plenty of times, but never, ever change anything in OBS ever. Never update the app. Never do anything. Once you have your settings, just leave it. Anyway, point is, I accidentally reset the bitrate. So the next little bit of the video is going to look like 240p. I can't really do anything about it. And I would just cut it out of the video, but I just did so much inside the factory. And I, explained a lot of my thoughts that I just don't think I could re-record again just really effectively. It's not the worst. It's actually pretty solid when I'm standing still, but when I'm moving around and placing blocks, it gets a little fuzzy, but it could be worse. If you've watched this far into the video, though, chances are you're probably a regular viewer, so you aren't gonna mind that much, hopefully. But yeah, I am really, really sorry. I have fixed it, obviously, as you can tell, but yeah, the next part of the video is a bit rough around the edges, but I hope we can stick through it. It's gonna be a long video, by the way. This is already the timeline is already like 40 minutes long, and I haven't even started on the warehouse yet. So I don't know how much longer this video is gonna be. Well, I mean, obviously you guys do because you have the final video, but yeah, this is gonna be a long one. I said I was gonna do the warehouse in this video, and I'm gonna do the warehouse in this video. So anyway, back to previous me. All right, so I've done a little bit the blah, blah, I can't speak. I'm keeping that though. I've done a little bit with these rings and these rings up here just to kind of add a little bit of depth there. But I've also spaced a bunch of these pillars around because I want to, let's go ahead and grab some blocks here. I want to do some little arches here just to add a little bit of depth again, just on the bottom. So I'm basically just going to put arches like this all the way around the factory floor. So just a little tiny thing. I kind of also want to, experimenting with the lighting a little bit around here because, there's dark spots. I want to maybe do kind of the same trick we did up there with this down here. This time I will, though, use redstone torches just because we don't have to light up a whole ton of it. So let's throw a redstone torch right here and then put some trap doors around. Oh, okay. They already stay closed because the torch is powering them. But if we do something like that, I kind of like it. I do kind of like it. It feels a little weird because this corner doesn't have that same thing going on, and it'd be weird to try to do it on this corner almost because you've got like you've got two right here. So I might not do them on the corners, but I think that does help, and it stops. That's the full screen button. It stops the mobs from spawning around here, which is really good. So it's much more subtle than like the torches and the lanterns and stuff, but it does add a little bit more towards the walls that do need a little bit of extra help here and there. But then right up here, just in the front, I'm not going to be doing anything with the rest of the walls, but just up here, I'm going to be thickening these walls a little bit. So I can add a little bit of a... Where's my slab? My slabs are already in my inventory. I'm going to be doing some slabs along here. Just so... Not to completely cover up the window. You can see it's just that top block. And you can like barely see it from outside. If I do too much, like you're going to see too much from the outside. But just having those slabs there means I can have a connecting point to some of the supports that I'm going to be doing up here. And I really don't need these walls on top of it, but it just adds a little bit of thickness to the whole thing just to make it a little bit less janky looking. make it look much less like this thing is being supported by the windows themselves. I'm just adding these little kind of archway looking things just across here to have some extra support going on. Obviously it's a Minecraft, like I don't actually need to support literally anything, but physics mean absolutely nothing inside this game except when they do. I do have to put torches in these corners. On this part where like away from all of these posts, but other than that, we can keep the redstone torches where they are. Yeah, it gets really, really dark over here. I'm going to be doing something right here in a second, but I'm just going to keep it consistent. And hopefully, hopefully with like the lanterns, you can fake it. Hopefully, once I cover this up, I don't have any trapdoors on me. You know what? That's not too terrible. Hopefully with them being right next to the lanterns like this, like, if you really pay close attention, you can like tell where the diamond is. But like, just running around here, hopefully, like, you can have a little bit of suspension of disbelief here. But I will keep these side ones the same because we don't have to worry about mob spawning over here. We can have some of the darker edges still. But yeah, over here, I definitely needed to light this place up and there was no clear way to do it. And you know what? I didn't think I could get these corners to work, but this actually works. I've just got these ones on these blocks, and then I've got these ones on the outside like that. So, at a glance, or even knowing that it's like that, it doesn't feel out of place. I kind of like that. And then you can throw a torch behind here and actually get rid of some of the darker gap that makes the triangles more obvious. So yeah, you can't tell whatsoever. I mean, it's also daytime, but you can't tell whatsoever that there's torches behind there. Anyway, I've kind of taken a detour. I promise I will get to that up there. I keep piping it up, but yeah, I'm taking a detour really quick just to make sure I've mob-proofed everything around here. And there are some spots here right up close to the pit that are really dark, and I was putting up these lanterns, but I'm not actually a big fan of them. I kind of like the idea of this being the only visible source of light. Otherwise, what would be kind of be the point of these besides like having these cross beams here? So I want to experiment with a little bit more with hidden lighting, kind of like what I've done with these trapdoors. And I realized you can actually bleed light through these slabs. But if you have a torch just right there, it's really, really obvious that there's a torch just right there. So I want to dig down a little bit and just make sure that the torch is only giving off just enough light to get to the edge of this spot. Okay, if I dig down enough, that hopefully should mean that... Oh, that's one block too far. Okay, so one block up, throw a torch right here, and hopefully that means that this should only be light level 1. Here we go. That's the end of that torch's range. The torch is right there. So now if we have a series of torches underneath there, just at that same level, there's a little bit of a glow. But again, suspension of disbelief, it will be faint enough that you will be only really able to tell that it's coming from here, unless unless otherwise. I still want a lot of this factory to be as dim as possible, so I'm really just trying to get everything mob-proofed, not bright. And there we go. Yeah, exactly. So now I can turn this off, and there's a little bit of a glow, but again, it doesn't really matter. All right, everything should now be completely mob-proofed, and everything up here that I want to be dark and moody, like especially this big beam in the center, I've got covered in string, so that's completely spawn-proofed. So everything besides those obsidian, which I can't really do anything about, everything around here should be mob-proofed. And honestly, if anything does spawn on there, they're gonna be in for a bad time, so I don't care too much about that part. So now we can get started on this little bit that I want. I say a little bit. It's a bigger part. So you might notice I still have this little temporary ladder that I have like cut the bottom off of. When I first built the machine, I hadn't quite done the staircase yet, and now this ladder's just kind of completely useless. Every time I want to go up here, I have to fly and try not to hurt myself. Yeah, get it, and then get up here and do this. I also want to clean this up a little bit, but not today. So up here at the front, I want to do some maintenance walkways. I want to like add some chains to here and like kind of hang this from the ceiling, and then have like a walkway and overall just kind of add some stuff up here that looks like, that's the out of bounds area. That's where the workers are going. A tour, if you're coming in here with a tour guide, you're gonna see all this stuff, but you're not necessarily gonna go up there. This does use a lot of spruce trapdoors, and I didn't realize until I was doing like this part how expensive spruce trapdoors are, or just trapdoors in general. Like I was not getting, this is half a stack or half a shulker of wood, and I got what, 7.5 stacks of trapdoors. No, not even 7. 6.5 stacks of trapdoors. Wait, no, 9. 8. I can't count, but 8. You know. It's not a lot. I thought this was spawn-proofed. Wait, does string not spawn-proof? Whoa, 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 whoa. Huh? Okay, I might have to come up with a different solution here. So that's right. Is there just is there just spots that aren't covered? No. Okay. Never mind. I could have sworn string was a spawn-proofing method, but no. That is extra obnoxious because I spent a good hour painstakingly going through and covering this entire ceiling in string to try to mod proof it, and it blends in way more on this on this mud than it did on the spruce logs. Like, you can't even tell. I guess it's snow proofed, but like, I mean, as you can tell right now, this isn't a snowy area, so it doesn't even. Oh. Okay, well, going along with the theming of this base, I am not going to touch that for a long time. Oh, I also need to get rid of these now. This should still be spawn-proofed, but, okay, yeah, we're still good. Okay, now this is going to be a little bit of a challenge to try to build here. But, let's see, if I, like, come in here like this? Can I reach that? No, I can't. So up here, you can't really see at the moment because that's all covered up. But I've got these, little supports I want to do, like these little kind of, I don't know what you call them, diagonal pieces that are just going to connect up right here. I mean, if you look really, really closely, it actually, like, it doesn't actually connect at all, but you can't tell from here, and you can't really tell from here. Okay, you can kind of tell from here. Okay, except I've also got these slabs here as well, and if I can I connect that to the window? Will that look weird from the outside? I mean, this whole thing kind of looks a little weird from the outside. Okay, what if I break that? Does that look better from down below? It looks better from down below. Okay, but that's what we're doing here. These little, you know, kind of diagonal supports along here. It is annoying having them centered on the windows, but if they weren't, they were gonna be centered on, not even centered at all. They were gonna be like stuck on one of these two parts, and it just look even weirder. So we do have to sacrifice a tiny bit of realism just to try to make it look nice from more of a distance. Also, doing these from the bottom up is way easier. I should have just done this from the beginning. All right, so now that we have all these supports now, we can actually build the walkway. So I'm going to put sandstone here, just kind of along the edge as like almost like warning tape. Like, it's a very contrasty color, basically to say, hey, don't step over this line. And then we've got some iron bars along here. And then everything else in here is going to be filled in with these trapdoors. I hope I have enough. I know I definitely don't have enough trapdoors on me right now. Half a heart. I'm not. Whoop. Okay. Meant to eat the carrot in my offhand, but the defaulted to the rocket. Anyway, I know I have enough. Those guys probably spawned up there, didn't they? As I was saying, I should be good on wood. I mean, I definitely don't have enough trapdoors in my inventory at the moment, but I've got a full shulker of, where is it? Like a full shulker of spruce over here that I've been using, so that wood shouldn't be an issue. If anyone has any ideas for not lighting this place up necessarily, but spawn-proofing it in kind of a way that doesn't bring attention to itself, I don't want to just throw glow lichen on here because, you know, you will be able to clearly see this from up here, unlike, you know, these other spots. Yeah, if anyone has any ideas, I don't, so I could definitely use them. Ow! Oh no, they spawned up here. That's why it's not lit yet. Okay, I was just getting to that part anyway, though. So here we go. So I am just gonna be putting more lanterns up here. You know, this is like a workers area. This doesn't have to have like inconspicuous glow lichen lighting or anything. No, there's just lanterns hanging off the side here. And these lanterns are also meticulously spaced to make sure everything is mob-proofed exactly correctly. And again, keeping the moody lighting while keeping the mobs out, you know. That's kind of the whole that's the whole MO of the lighting in this base. And as for this bit, instead of trapdoors, I'm actually just putting slabs along this little walkway here. Like, this is a higher traffic area. Like, this is the place people are mainly coming to. So, like, this is, like, you know, a slightly more supported. And right here, this is actually on a slightly higher level. So I'm actually putting some stairs along here, which is fun because, like, if you've ever worked in a place like this, like, you know that things are always just, like, a little bit off. Like, everything's, nothing's ever, like, completely smooth or aligned or anything. Like, there's always the one step, you know, that the experienced workers will tell you is like, oh yeah, watch out for this one spot. So yeah, here's this. That's this little step up here that the experienced workers is like, oh yeah, watch out, you know, watch your feet climbing up there, kind of thing. I'm also just replacing all of this smooth stone with spruce. I think it blends better with the rest of this walkway, and you are not supposed to be there. I really need to figure this out soon. Yeah, it looks better blended with the rest of the build instead of just kind of a standalone thing. But I am going to keep the mechanical stuff smooth stone, so there's a clear separation between, like, where you are supposed to be and where all the dangerous moving stuff is. I should also probably polish this area just a little bit. Even if I just put, like, a step stool, honestly, I think I've been using this little makeshift, like, this dropper thing, so I can AFK here, just throw a shulker box, have a hopper here, like this. It works fine. I really like it. I can't really drop it beneath, mainly because that would make the redstone a little less compact than I'd want it to, and it would, like, peek out beneath here, which I don't really like. So maybe just, like, maybe if okay, I have to be very careful of the slime blocks. Let's try this. I'm out of slabs, but let's try, like, having a little walkway right here so that I'm not having to, like, jump over stuff. And then let's just trigger this real quick and see if the slime blocks are definitely going to hit that iron bar, aren't they? Let's do this really quick. Oh, no, because it pushes forward and not back. Yeah. And then that is going to shift back. Okay, never mind. This is, like, pixel perfect. I've also just conveniently got a crafting table on here. I don't need it. Like, to make the dirt, it's only the 4x4 crafting. I don't need a crafting table up here. But I've just got a bunch of these just, like, spread around all over the place. That was smooth. Speaking of smooth, I have way too much smooth stone. What did I make all this for? I honestly can't. I have so much stuff in these chests. So much. I mean, okay. I have so much cobble from, like, flattening out the initial parts of the wheat field, and I was like, oh, I want to make sure I keep hold of all these blocks. I haven't used them at all. I quickly abandoned that. I have not been keeping hold of any of the stone from the rest of this. It was only this little initial bit. Anyway, let's see if I can do this again. Okay, well, that was not as smooth. Oh, right. Yeah, also, I have to be careful around here because, yeah, these are trapdoors. I'm mainly using them for show because I like the look of them, but, yeah, they could be a little bit dangerous. I mean, although that can be also just on par with the rest of this. Factories are never completely safe. Yeah, there we go. And now I can just have, like, a little step stool up here, and then that's perfect. And then, like I said, I want to have this suspended from the ceiling, so I'm gonna be putting these iron bars. I did experiment with chains. Chains didn't look as good, even though I know they'd be more realistic. But so we're just gonna be putting these iron bars. That's not quite to the ceiling. I mean, there is a ceiling here. I mean, I guess that is the ceiling, isn't it? Yeah, these ones are gonna go all the way up top and really just, like, use the space more. There is a reason why this is so high, and that's because there is a specific farm I want to build here that has, like, a little bit, like, sticking up. I'm not going to be building it today. Today I'm mainly doing all the decorative stuff. I can do all the extra redstone contraptions I still want to do in here another day. But yeah, if it wasn't for a specific farm, I wouldn't actually probably have made the roof this high. But now that it is this high, I really, really like it. I mean, it looks way better from the outside. Like, you can imagine just cutting off at that level. That wouldn't have looked great. Like, it really pushed me to make this place look better instead of just kind of, like, cutting it off early. And it worked really, really well. I really, really like it. All right, so now the walkway up here is all done, which is great. So now there's one last thing I want to do in here. Clean that up later. There's one last thing I want to do in here before I can really call the interior design complete. I mean, obviously, like I said, there's some farms and stuff, and I do want to change this hopper down here into like a water stream in a second to feed into the warehouse we're going to build in this episode. This episode's been going on for a long time, by the way. Okay. This episode... That was not even at speed. I don't know why I got hurt there. Anyway, like I mentioned earlier, right here, I want to build a little thing. Right now, obviously, as you can tell, flying around here can be dangerous. Just a little bit. Especially, it used to be just the snare platform. Obviously, there is more of a spot to fly up to now. But I still want to, in terms of, realism, I want to add a little bit of an elevator here. I'm actually taking a lot of inspiration from a very specific screenshot of the Spider-Man PS4 game. It's less of an elevator and more like a service lift. This is the kind of lift for big crates and heavy machinery and stuff to be moved around. Also, welcome back to the normal good-looking video. And like I said, this is actually going to be somewhat functional. So we've got the main frame going on right here, and then we're actually just going to connect it up all the way over here. So let's add another crossbeam right here, and then we're just going to put a little walkway across here. Again, this is going to be just slightly off level to the rest of this platform, but again, that's slightly intentional. It feels a little bit, janky in a way that you'd actually see in a place like this. And now we actually have to make the lift part of the lift, and this is going to be fun because I've actually found out that grindstones work really, really well as pulleys. I say found out, I mean a lot of people have probably used this trick before, but this is the first time I'm using it. So if we just have these up here and then have some chains between, I can't reach that, between them, like that, and then running straight down, we can have a lift platform down at the bottom down there. So I took out this part of the floor because I'm gonna actually put a little indent here where the elevator can rest while it's level with the ground, so that people can load up crates and stuff onto here, just like this. And then the lift itself is going to be just slightly suspended right here, just on these. So I'm just going to be building this mainly out of stairs, just around like this. I mean, technically there's more of a gap. If this was level with the ground, there'd be a little bit of a gap here, but it's fine. And then just fill this in the middle right here. And so this is actually the lift platform right now. And then we're just going to connect this up to the top of those grindstones. That's what they're called. There we go. And then, like I said earlier, this is actually also going to be functional. I'm just going to dig a little tunnel through the back of here. That's very bright. But I can do this and then actually just put a ladder back here, and so you can climb up here without having, like I said, without having to fly around. And it's just a little hidden. It's not in the way of the decorative lift. It all looks really cool and impressive, but actually just kind of sneak back here and just up a ladder. And I'm just gonna fill in this corner right here so we can keep the torch lighting that up on the other side of that. So you've still got the ambient light kind of sneaking in through there, but we're going to cover that up so it's all nice and neat. Then just throw a couple crossbeams up there, and that is all of the decorative stuff in the factory. 100%, well, 99% complete. I just can't AFK here for a little bit, just in case. All right, so we're going to take a step away from the build because I just met with Simply Knight the other day because we are going to get started soon on a little collaborative project. I was going to be doing some stuff with this mountain, and we decided it would be cool if we actually just transformed this village into a beach village. So we met together and went over some of the initial plans and stuff, so I'm just going to play that for you right now because it was a fun session. Knight's always a great guy to hang out with, and we had some great conversations.
That's one way to come through the door.
I was just on your roof.
I didn't think about that. That's totally it is a door. All right.
When you spend so much time building that you forget the blocks actually have functions.
I know these are just decoration now. They're not useful for anything.
Like
Oh,
I just
hello.
noticed the candles like up at the top, like the brown candles on the
Oh, yeah.
fences up here.
They're decorate. They're to make new points at the top. Oh, that's not the top. It's such a tall building. Yeah, like they're
like,
just.
You could light
they're
these,
little
but like
spikes.
they're not supposed. Yeah, it's like not their purpose anymore.
You know what? I totally. That's actually a good idea. This is dangerous up here. Like all of this is spawn. I think you can spawn everything on here. So do you have any ideas in mind for like what you want to do? And you're talking about this town like right below us, right? Or are you talking about?
Yeah,
the one
down here. Because I
that's
want to
over
do
there?
some
Okay.
stuff. I want to do some stuff across the river. Oh gosh, there we
Okay.
go. I couldn't fly because the zombie caught me on fire, and the tick damage is not letting me jump.
Yeah.
One of your chairs arrived nearby. Where?
Hello, wandering trader. Hello. Got some goodies. Oh,
Goodbye, wandering trader.
he gone.
Wait, since I
Oh,
one-shot him,
excuse me,
the
llama.
llamas didn't get angry. Huh?
They're not angry at all.
Yeah, didn't notice
I'm
that.
surprised the iron golem didn't get angry at you. Actually,
He doesn't care about wandering traders. He just cares about these guys. He has taken some.
yeah. It's
Just
probably
the whole
'cause
time
nobody
you've been.
sleeps over
Well, it's probably because
Yeah.
you've been loading up in these chunks. So he's been fighting for his life
He's
while you've
been-
been having fun with interiors.
Hey, listen. He's doing his job. He's doing all right.
Yeah.
He's still got some life in him, I think. Not too much. Oh,
Too much.
no, it fits.
Okay. Okay.
Let's see. So,
Okay, yeah. So I was wanting to do some stuff across the river. So I want to do a little bit of terraforming over here
okay.
and passing by. And basically, I
Ooh, look at
already
that.
had the idea to like work on this village and just pretty it up a little bit. But like then you moved in, and I was like, oh, we can do this together.
Yeah, I'm in. So, what do you mean by pretty up?
Like I want to turn into like a seaside kind of like not quite attraction. Just turn it into like a beach, just like a local kind of beach. So not anything huge, not Santa Monica Pier or anything. Just like,
Okay.
just like a local
Yeah.
little beach and a little
Okay,
seaside
okay.
kind of town. Because there is a sea over
Okay.
here. Just right here. So we
And-
could terraform this. There's a lot of hill. This is very hilly, so we're probably gonna flatten down a bunch of
Yeah.
it. But like there is an ocean
And-
right here, so we can flatten out most of this area that we're standing on, turn into a beach, and then kind of terraform over here and kind of have a little bit of a separation, or a kind of like a downhill. Like we can have the village like uphill from the beach. Basically,
Yeah,
that's what I'm
okay.
trying to say.
I like that. Yeah.
But we could do a lighthouse somewhere over here, like a small one, not weasel-sized lighthouse, like a little
Yeah.
little
Yeah.
white house and like
Oh, weasel. Yeah.
like driftwoods just kind of on the beach and stuff, because it's
Yeah.
like a British, British or Pacific Northwest kind of beach, not California kind of beach.
Mm-hmm.
Like colder,
Okay.
kind of more humid, not humid, colder.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying.
Yeah,
Okay.
like rocks and twigs and
And then like a
driftwood and
shoreside
stuff.
town,
Yeah.
basically. Yeah. Okay. Are you thinking British style houses space too, or
We could.
Kinda.
I mean, I don't have
they're pretty
any other
simple?
plans.
That's why I asked. They're basically squares.
That's a cool screenshot, and that
Oh,
fits
yeah.
with like
Yeah,
the
basically
river
something.
into a bay kind of
Yeah,
thing
yeah,
that we've
yeah.
got going on.
Yeah, and all those houses are seriously just squares with roofs, so it'd be super easy.
Yeah.
Like
So
it
I
could be
think
quick.
I think
But that
we can terraform this a little bit and like just get more of a tier,
those-
more of an orderly thing going on instead of just like a solitary hill we've got going on.
yeah, sure, yeah.
Like maybe like transition more from your hill downwards.
Okay. I think that's a good idea. At least expanding it. I don't know how much dirt you have.
I have a dirt factory.
I don't have a lot. Okay. And I really don't think that those if you're okay with houses in that style, I think those would be pretty quick to pop up.
No, yeah, brick houses. Those would be really cool. Like colorful
Okay.
brick houses. I mean, and
Yeah,
then we
and
have
keep
so
them
many
close
different types
together
of
as well.
bricks too in the game now.
Yeah, no, I think even we can throw brick, the quartz, we can throw in like wood. Like there's so many
Yeah,
different
like
colors there that we can make it work.
pale oak planks. Like do
Yeah,
like
yeah,
a
and we
white
could use
wood
pale
house.
oak, which
Yeah,
I've not experienced yet. Yeah,
because like a lot of seaside houses are either like super colorful or they're just like white or gray, like wood,
yeah.
which
White
works
with
with
like
the
an orange roof.
yeah.
That gives me a project. I've been slacking because I don't want to work on the trees. I've learned my lesson. Like I love those trees. I
Yeah,
think they're cool. I will never make that detailed of a tree ever again.
no.
Ever. No, it's torture. If I was in creative, maybe, but like they look cool though. Oh man, I don't know. Dang it.
It's like I don't want to put in that work, but also like
Yeah.
I really like
I wish
'em.
I could just copy and paste them. I really do like the cliff here, but if you want it gone, that's fine. I'm down with moving it. Maybe
Oh, the
shrinking
cliff.
it up a little bit. That I
Oh,
was
this
standing
cliff.
on
I
just
see.
now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. I think it's cool. I don't know. But we
Oh
can get
wait.
rid of
Oh,
it.
so you mean
I have
maybe
no
using this
attachments.
as like the lower level and just kind of building from here up to
See,
your
this is a
cliff?
tough part. Like,
Because there was
I
like
think
there's like a mossy stone like boardwalk in that last screenshot. Like
yeah. Yeah, I
yeah.
see.
There is a little bit of a cliff.
Yeah, there's just a little cliff. I think adding the cliff is just a little detail. We don't have to make it this big though. We can definitely shrink it and maybe move it back and flatten it
Uh-huh.
out or something. But
Yeah,
if you
I'd
don't
move it
want
back
to,
from
I
the
can take care
like
of that.
especially if we're gonna widen the river. I'd move it back from the river
Yeah.
maybe 10 blocks.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
that way
I
we
think
can
having
have
like a little
have
bit of shore
stony.
underneath of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, and yeah,
Um,
so we can leave this here. So
We can
Next-
shrink it still though,
next
because it is a
question:
pretty
do we
big
want to like
hill.
cover up this village there? If this is gonna be the
No,
baseline?
I think I mean like
It would
that's
be
a cool thing.
funny.
Like if you look in that picture, it would be really funny, and then people come in and see that it's just like covered up. If you look in that picture, like we can make it a little bit more gradual of a slope, but like have a flat base, and then like I think it'd be more. See, and this is like I don't know how much time we have really, realistically, but if we get the terrain down, I can just plop houses down because they're not super complicated. How much is just?
Right here.
The heck?
Oh, that's
What the heck? What? That's 3. Oh, am I dead? Oh.
wait. So is that
You don't take fall
okay?
damage
Yeah,
from
it's only 3.
Oh.
Wait, you
Oh,
don't
and
take
it gives
fall.
you if you don't.
You don't take fall damage from these. Oh.
Yeah.
I had no idea.
This is amazing.
So you could
Contrary
really
to
scare
what
someone who
Gunther's
doesn't know the
farm,
mechanics.
Yeah.
Like me. Dude, this is I love these.
We're gonna waste all of his wind charges.
Ah, he's rich.
I've had a bunch of deep slate just sitting in my starter base since pretty much the beginning of the season, almost 2 years now, because I knew it'd probably come into use one day. Well, the day has finally come. Good to know I'm not just a hoarder. Some stuff is definitely just doesn't belong in here, but we're gonna ignore that for a bit. Now, one of the reasons I'm really excited about this build is because we are finally breaking away a little bit from the block palette we're working on. I mean, if I look at all these shulkers, you will notice like there are a ton of similar types of blocks that we've been using, but you'll notice that there's no mud bricks, which is the big thing. We're breaking away from the mud bricks and basically just working with like the highlights, with like the normal bricks, the terracotta, the tough and stuff, and just building. Didn't mean to rhyme that, but we're building out of all of that, plus some deep slate, which wasn't in the original build, which is nice. Also, ignore my voice. I have been on and off being sick for the past week or so. I'm fine. It's just like, yeah, my allergies and everything have just been kind of. So yeah, we've got tons of deep slate we're gonna be using for the roof, but before that, we need to get some stone. I'm so glad I organized these stokers. Like a lot of these materials I already had from like building this, so I could just kind of organize them. And I mean, obviously, we've got a lot of iron and wood. We aren't even using any birch. This is all just for chests for the storage. Ignoring that. Yeah, I'm so glad I organized all of these. Let's throw this deep slate in there. Besides the deep slate, the other brand new block we're using here is stripped jungle logs, which I really, really like the look of. I have... I never noticed flying until I started flying over. I've got 3 crafting tables right here. Okay, I might as well take one of those. I guess I need one near me at like all times. I bet I've probably got a few inside here as well. At least I know I have a few. I've got one there. I've got one there. Like, chances are this isn't the only one I'm going to be using for this project either. Anyway, but yeah, we're adding a good amount of jungle into this part of the build. I mean, I'm covering up these pillars are going to be covered up with these trapdoors, but we're also going to be using like jungle trapdoors throughout the build, and you're still going to be able to see you're still going to be able to see the jungle in spots like this, like on the side here, because we're using I'm throwing in some stone brick walls. Definitely going for a little bit more of a modern tone. Like the factory itself, you know, it's like old English, like, you know, like 1800s kind of factory, but back here we're doing basically just a modern warehouse. Like, I really like the idea that this factory has just been here for a couple hundred years, but then the workers around here have just kind of added on to here. I mean, I've got, you know, this warehouse back here, and then I'm going to be adding even more modern stuff back here, because a lot of places work that way, whether it's like, you know, a factory place or like it's a school or something like that. Like, the older buildings just stick around a lot of the time, even if they aren't necessarily used, or they are used, and it's just like they add more modern extensions over time. That's why I kind of like that about this base. I kind of like the kind of evolution of technology throughout. So this one's, you know, much more, and even then the building itself is really old, but like some of the internals are like kind of retrofitted. You've got like, you know, the big like water basin going on, and more stuff up here. Of course, like the lighting is very much like old school and stuff. This lift is probably a little bit more modern, not crazy modern though. Yeah, I need to light that up. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff I want to do back here, which I am going to get to soon. I promise. Probably next episode. Honestly, after this is done, that's the next step of the base. So I am really excited. I do need to like pave everything. I paved around here just because I knew I'd be like building here, but I really want to, in a stream, just like go around and like pave the front of this, and then do a bunch of terraforming back here. I mean, I already did all the terraforming back here. As you can see, I left the level beneath where I'm building, so I can just like build on top of here, because there's going to be quite a bit of gravel as well around here. So all the area is prepped for me to build, which is good. I do need to terraform this a little bit too, but I can get to that off camera as well, or on camera, on stream. I stream a lot, by the way, if you haven't seen those. This whole wheat field has been a massive like stream only project, and it's just kind of been growing in the background of the videos. And again, the paving matches more of a modern style as well. It's just kind of flat and gray, which, I mean, probably isn't that much of a difference between like modern and old, but, you know, old would probably be much less smooth. They'd probably be more cobbly and stuff like that. All right, so I've got some of the bare bones of the walls up. You can see I've got this little like window, not quite window, it's like iron bars that kind of just let you kind of peek in from the outside a little bit, which I really like. But here I wanted to add in a little bit more jungle, so I'm going to be doing some of these trapdoors along the top here, as well as just like spaced vertically along here. So I'm kind of doing this on this end and this end, not the sides. The sides are actually the sides are actually going to have different designs up top in some of the other layers. So like, whereas they're, you know, this side's got like the iron bars and the trapdoors. Yeah, each side's going to have its kind of unique thing. Nailed it. And again, it fits more with the slightly more modern kind of function over form kind of thing. Like, there's less just random little overly dense pieces of a detail. The factory itself is all very elaborate and stuff, and this is more, you know, like a warehouse you might go to, which is just kind of got a lot of bare walls. But as you can see, I am still adding details here and there to make it not boring. Oh, okay, that's neat. I placed a trapdoor wrong, so I broke it and it landed on that ledge. So okay, that's neat. I have no idea how I'll ever make use of that, but you can pick up items through walls, so that's cool. Also, one extra benefit of just adding the trapdoors along here is that the walls all get their little kind of 3D versions, so it just adds a tiny bit of extra texture. I mean, nothing crazy, but like, you know, it's something. Now, this place is looking really, really boxy at the moment, but I'm going to fix that because that is where the roof comes in as well as this deep slate. Because I don't know why, but pretty much every single, I mean, I won't say every single because I'm sure there's exceptions out there, but almost every single warehouse I've ever seen has like the exact same slanted roof. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to do a slanted roof on here, and that's also where we can just add in a little bit of extra detail on the sides here that won't be here on this end. So yeah, I'm going to be making this out of deep slate tiles with stripes of polished deep slate through here, just to kind of add like a little bit of an extra, less uniform. Again, just like little bits of extra detail here to make this place just not look as boring as it could be. Also, because we are going to be continuing the walls underneath the slant, because we're using slabs, it obviously would kind of stick out weird if you just kind of had it like this, and then we just added like slabs right there. Obviously, that's kind of strange right there. And I can't just break this and replace it with here because that looks weird from the side. So I'm actually going to have these stripes above all the rest of just kind of like, so these sides are going to be going out 4 at a time, but this is actually going to go 8 at a time, so that it kind of meets up with this right here, and then we continue it again at the next level. So not only are these polished deep slate just like stripes of a different block, but they're also like, they've also got some depth to them, and it looks a little, it actually looks really, really weird just by itself like this, but once the whole roof is done, it does add just a fun little effect to it. You know, almost like you've got pipes running on top or something like that. I mean, that wasn't intentional. I wasn't thinking about pipes when I designed those, but like you can kind of think of them that way if you want to. Or if not pipes, then like a rain runoff kind of thing. Did they change the copper trapdoor recipe? I remember it used to be 6 blocks and people, oh no, yeah, they changed it. Okay, good. I remember people used to be complaining like that, you know, 6 blocks for 2 trapdoors was like insane. So yeah, I'm glad they got that out of the way. Yeah, and this gap right here, I want to add a window. The other sides have windows, and there's going to be even a bigger window on this side once the roof is up and we've got a big space there. But right here, I want us to add like a little tiny kind of sliver of a, you know, not even a window, but like kind of what we did down there with like the iron bars, but except this time I'm going to be using copper trapdoors. I'm going to let these oxidize a little bit. So that we get like the more orange looking ones that will blend better with the acacia, with the weathered or slightly oxidized. I think they changed the name as well. Yeah, this is going to go along this gap right here and basically complete the sides. That's what the sides are going to look like. And then the jungle is going to just continue along the top, as well as changing these, you know, like trapdoor pillars into just normal oak planks, or not planks, logs. So that way we can just kind of have a little bit of a change up when we get to this, you know, top layer. You don't notice it very much. I even forgot I was using oak until I checked the schematic again. But yeah, when I designed it, I threw some oak in there because it just blends that well that I completely forgot I even used it. So yeah, we're gonna do that right there, and this is where the roof is gonna be. So you can kind of see that how that slant's gonna go. And then we're going to have some big windows right here. Well, not necessarily big windows. We're going to be mirroring kind of the windows we have down here with the kind of andesite slit. So we're going to kind of mirror that up top and then add some more jungle up top. And I should really just build it instead of trying to explain. This video is long enough already. And with that, oh, by the way, I am keeping this floating island just for the heck of it. And with that, the outside of this is complete. Well, mostly complete. I want to do something right around here real quick. This is going to be kind of a loading dock area. So I'm just going to have like this big door right here that you can lift up and, you know, bring forklifts and stuff into. And I want to use that same trick I did earlier by using these grindstones to kind of connect these chains together. As well as using these smokers right here because they've got like holes on the top that kind of look neat. So I can connect them into like the ground right here. I mean, functionally, I'm not sure if this makes sense at all, but like it looks neat. You can kind of tell, you can tell what it's supposed to be, and then you can have a chain right here that you grab to open up the door. So there's that. Hello, bat. I wasn't a big fan of the new model when it came out, and I still think I prefer the old one, but like it is really cute. But with that, the exterior of this is complete. So now we can get into some of the redstone stuff in here. So I'm going to be basically having a massive storage room. I mean, the whole point of this building is going to be a massive storage room. So I'm going to have rows and rows and rows and rows of chests. I'm going to have a ceiling here so that way we can put in a couple like item sorters and stuff, as well as like other storage up here, because down here I'm gonna basically have 4 main rows for like dirt and like coarse dirt and mud and stuff, you know, the stuff that the factory produces. But up here, just shoved away in the attic, I'm gonna have all the rest of my storage, which I think will be really fun. You know, everywhere you've worked that has some sort of like storage area like this, there's like, it's like a perfect mix between like organization and a little bit of chaos that all the employees know how to navigate. Yes, that reminds me, for lighting around here, I'm going to be using some of this glow lichen to... Let's try that again. I'm going to be using some of this glow lichen around here as kind of like, you know, like mold growing up in the attic. Everyone's chaos has ensued. But yeah, I'm using like glow lichen around here as if like there's mold growing up here. Like it's not the best maintained, but like it's functional. This is just for the attic, though. Downstairs, I'm going to be throwing in a bunch of lanterns hanging from the ceiling. So just evenly spaced throughout this room. There's just going to be these lanterns hanging from the ceiling to kind of... And they are strategically placed as well to make sure that everything is spawn-proofed. Now this is looking like a functional warehouse, but it isn't yet. This is going to be completely automatic. You might have saw I've kind of hidden some hoppers in these little vent things, because we're actually just going to go inside the factory itself for a second and connect up the output system directly into the warehouse. Now I've got this little hole in the wall right here that's going to connect up. So right around here, I'm going to start just doing a little bit of like a water tower thing. So this is where all the items are going to flow down to, and then come up here from item elevator, and then across, and then into these item stores. And I've already laid out the blocks I want to be sorting here. But first we have to build all of this. I really like these grates. We don't have a whole ton of like transparent like blocks in the game. I mean, we've got, you know, iron bars and glass and stuff like that, but we don't have a lot of these. They're very similar to leaves, where they've kind of got like air spaces, but they're still like mostly covered in like texture. But yeah, I really like them. Anyway, where all these are going to connect up, we are going to be using some of these chiseled ones I really like as well. This update just added a whole bunch of like new copper variants, and I really like them. And then might as well just throw a normal one up top there. How does that look? I might do here. Actually, first off, let's just get the water in here for one thing. Oh boy, do something like that. Yeah, that works. Let's replace the top of this to match right here. But I think that works. Oh, that was full of stuff. My inventory is very full right now. So we got the basin right here. So we're just gonna throw some water down here, and hello, you're not supposed to be here. And just create a water trail through here like this. The only thing I really have to pay attention to is this corner. Make sure it's not like on a weird angle or something like that. So the items are just going to float, you know, directly into here and then left, which is great. Right. Whatever direction that is. Oh, except I do need to change these into water source blocks so that the soul sand that's not down here yet, but the soul sand that I'm going to place here is going to work correctly. So I just do that, and that should work correctly. There we go. I see some bubbles. Now, if I throw a bunch of these into the pool, eventually they'll go down there, and then hopefully come up here. Just throw hitboxes on just in case. Oh, yep, there they go. And then out the tube. And I have made a big mess out here, but it's working. Maybe? Possibly. They got flung out of there. That's fine though, because we're not leaving it like this. We're actually gonna continue the tunnel across here, and we're making this out of trapdoors. Unfortunately, I can't put a trapdoor like right here because this is a slab, but it's not too weird. I am also very stuck. I'm still stuck. I can't. And I'm going to let these oxidize a bit. And these ones, I'm actually going to be downgrading one. Most of the functional kind of copper around here, I'm going to be putting using the slightly off green, and that's going to flow in here to our item sorters that we're going to make. Now, one of the things you have to be careful of when you're making an item sorter is because the hoppers are 3D like this, sometimes an item can get like stuck like inside the hopper. Like if I just fill this up with junk and then like throw some honeycombs in there, like it gets stuck there, and so it won't flow anymore if there's water going over it. And so you have to align stuff with like the edge of the block so that they just kind of flow across like the rim of these. And the way I'm going to do that, a lot of people will use like fancy piston tricks and stuff to do that, or like non-full blocks like honey and stuff. No, I'm just I'm just chucking them against a wall. Oh, there's also a couple places where I have to include ice so that items won't get stuck, and I'm just covering up those with trapdoors. And again, when they're green, they don't look too out of place. So the water's going to flow across here, and it's going to just jump the gap, hit this wall right here, and then go down and then start flowing across. And I have tested in the creative world and it works, and I'm not changing it because why would I? And like I said, we do have to include ice in here every once in a while, so I'm actually just incorporating that into the design and just doing kind of this like kind of rounded off thing. Like because we don't have the trapdoors oxidized yet, like it does look a little bit weird and out of place, but just I felt like just embracing it just really helped the design quite a bit. Like actually kind of looks more mechanical than it would otherwise, like more detailed than just a row of slabs. So I kind of like it. Like I said, it does look a lot better once everything kind of matches up in color. Now the very last thing we have to do is get these item sorters sorted out. No pun intended. And I'm also making these out of copper, but these are going to be like the slightly orange copper up here. Like it's you can't tell the final product just yet, because I do have to just kind of wait for everything to finalize. But trust me when I say it works. You'll see it in the next episode. This video is already taking me a month and a half. I'm not going to wait for copper to oxidize. And I am leaving this empty right here. There's not going to be an item store. This is basically just going to be the overflow. So any like extra materials are going to go into this row of chests over here. So that way they don't, just stop there and despawn, Where are they? Here they are. I have had these iron nuggets just in with the rest of my iron nuggets, but these are renamed to filter because I guess they were from another filtering system. And I've just like held on to them just because, but now I can actually finally use them as filter items. And I've just realized I built this item sorter wrong. Possibly. Because it's not locking, because anything will go into the top, but then they'll like lock here. But if there's like anything in the top as well, it will like huh? Wait, I fixed it. Wait. I did not realize the hopper facing that way mattered. I knew people did it, but like I thought, what's the reason behind that? Okay, I doubt too many of you care, but like that. Is it because the hopper prioritizes going left instead? I thought the hoppers prioritized pulling down instead of the direction they face. But okay, regardless, apparently these have to be facing into the comparators, and I have no idea why that matters, but I'm going to do it because it's the only way it works, and that's going to wash away all my redstone, but it's fine. Ooh, or I can be quick like this. There we go. And not wash away all my redstone and have to replace it. Oh, and I was so fast that it like caught... That's neat. I was so fast that like it caught the hopper in the hopper I replaced. That's fun. How did that end up there? Is that... Oh, there's gaps there. I see. I was like, that's a lot. I was coming down here because I thought I might have fallen in one of these chests, and I am definitely going to have to clean out these chests before I start actually sorting stuff, because there's a lot of junk down here. I say clean out, but I really just mean move to these overflow chests that are just going to be full of junk. Anyway, let's try this again. So these both are for dirt. So let's just fill these here really quick. And here, let's test the whole system all at once. So let's throw a couple cares in here. Those should go down there, across, up the water elevator. Yep, okay, there they go. I don't know if you saw them, but I did. And those should bypass this set of chests because this is for dirt only. And eventually they'd actually just go all the way to the end of the overflow. But because I haven't done all the sorters yet, we're going to do this and hope... hope... Oh, they ended up in those hoppers, didn't they? Right, yeah, it's lit up. Yeah, I've still got the redstone, but I don't have any items in there, so that's just... I just made a carrot sorter. But hey, I know these sorters work, and eventually, once I get everything filled out, those should just end up in there. So that is it. It's been a very, very long episode, but that's it. I'm happy with this. Functionally, it's the bare bones are down. Like, about to say functionally it's complete, but I haven't filled in the rest of the item stores yet. But that's just a small little thing that I can do off camera. As of now, the warehouse is functional. Like I can still use these like overflow chests and then throw a bunch of like shulkers and stuff up top in the attic. Like all the building is done and 90% of the redstone is done, and I'm fine with just leaving it there because, like I said, it has been a month and a half. But I did promise I would get the warehouse done, and I did. Just good to have like finally made like a ton of decent progress over the last couple episodes. Like the area is really coming together. And in the next episode, we are going to continue to expand back here for this secret. I kind of secret. I think I might have mentioned it in an early stream or something like that. So some of you might know what this is, but I've been trying to keep it 90% secret. Yeah, anyway, we're starting on this in the next episode, which is going to be fun because, as you can see, it's a big area and there's a lot that's going to be going on over here that I'm really excited to get started with, especially because I'm going to tap into my childhood a little bit and have some fun here and in this clearing as well. Yeah, but yeah, I'm just going to leave that for the next episode because I want to get this edited and out this week. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Hope you guys are enjoying the factory build so far. The season is coming to an end very, very soon. So I have my work cut out for me, but I'm really excited to get it done. So I'm going to leave that for the next episode. I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.